Hey, what's going on, guys? Brothers Collectibles here. So just before this video starts, I wanted to give you guys a quick update of what's actually been going on here. So I did watch The Good, the Bad, the Ugly on 4K from Arrow Video, and it is a great release. It's absolutely awesome. And I put a video together, a review with audio, video, sound. I edited it all together, put it together, saved it, uploaded it to YouTube, and then of course the old copyright problem came up. There was issues with copyright. I tried to work my way around it to no success. Tried to see how I could make things work, but I was completely unsuccessful in making the successful video without any copyright issues. So the video that I'm going to upload after this intro is going to be pretty much a butchered, cut down version of the original review. I've decided to keep the original audio of the review, but it is literally just going to be some stock footage of previous videos of this release and maybe a picture or two, but I'm unable to actually show you any 4K footage due to that copyright issue here. So I apologize for that, and thank you very much for taking the time to watch this upcoming video.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Brothers Collectibles here. Welcome back to another video. So I finally had time to sit down and watch The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, the brand new limited edition 4K release from Arrow Video. And in this video, I just wanted to talk about my overall thoughts and opinions on the picture and audio quality, and as well as my overall experience with this new 4K. So when I watched the film, I actually sat down and watched the international version, which runs at 161 minutes. Now, I've only ever actually seen what's known as the extended cut. That was on the DVD that I had, and also the Blu-ray. That was standard, was the extended cut. Now, as a personal preference, I prefer the extended cut. It just got a lot more sort of depth to it, and a little bit more extended dialogue scenes, a little bit more depth into the characters' backstories. And, for example, it shows you Tuco reuniting with his group of bandits before he hunts down Blondie in the hotel. Of course, that's missing from the international version, so Tuco just turns up with these gang members and you don't really know who they are or where they came from. But the extended version pads it out a little bit more and explains who they are and Tuco's kind of relationship with that group of bandits. And then in the extended cut, you've also got the scene where Angel Eyes is traveling and he goes to that Confederate fort and he starts talking to a couple of the soldiers there, things like that. And there's just overall like more extra lines of dialogue, just more depth and more detail in the film, which adds to the overall better experience, in my opinion. But as personal preference, I do actually prefer the extended cut. So first off, I just want to say, Arrow Video have done another great job with this one, just like with the Zombie Flesh Eaters and with the other two films in the Dollars trilogy that they've released. This film looks absolutely great. I would say this is actually the best they've done with the Dollars trilogy, compared to A Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More. Overall, I thought this film was more consistent, and the picture quality was absolutely superb here. Really great throughout, and the audio was also great as well. So after the opening title sequence, which is amazing, by the way, during the title sequence, there seemed to be a lot more like punch to the gunshots and the cannon fire. There seemed to be a lot more meat to those gunshots, which was really cool. And so after that awesome title sequence and the musical score, of course, we are greeted with that extreme close-up of the gunslinger. And, the detail there is just absolutely incredible. You can see pretty much every hair on his face, really highly detailed, great color palette here. The Blu-ray version seemed to be have like a yellow filter or like a yellow film over it for some reason, which I was never really a fan of. But that's gone here, thank God, with this new 4K release. This is a much more neutral, natural color palette, more realistic skin tones. And the detail there is absolutely incredible. There is a good level of film grain throughout here, which it's not distracting in any way. It is more intense in some scenes than others, but that was the case with the other two films in the Dollars trilogy, and it's fine. Um, I did think the James Bond I recently watched, You Only Live Twice, on 4K, and I think that was like too much film grain to the point where it was kind of distracting. But that wasn't an issue with this film. Neither it is an issue with the other films in the Dollars trilogy. The landscapes, the detail is just it's really exquisite here. And then the next scene when we're introduced to Angel Eyes, and it pans across of him approaching the house on horseback. It's just stunningly beautiful to look at here. That film grain's there, but the scenery here and the color palette, everything is just much sharper and great range of colors, and everything just really stands out, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. When Tuco is running away on horseback before he is shot down by a group of bandits just before Blondie intervenes. When Blondie shoots the bandits, again, the level of detail here is just crazy. Like, it's so good. Like, you can see all the etching and the scuff marks on his revolver. So it's so highly detailed, and it's just really a real treat for the eyes to look at here. It's just an absolutely beautiful 4K. This I was so impressed with it here. Again, talking about the detail again, you can also on the close-up shots, you can like see the tobacco stains on the teeth, which is kind of incredible. That's how highly detailed this film actually is in the 4K release. Um, it's just absolutely beautiful to look at and so highly detailed. It's just such a visual treat, this film, guys. I had such a good time watching this. One of the best moments for me was actually the scene where Tuco and Blondie are captured by the Union army and they get taken into the encampment just before the huge battle takes place. Now, not only is the color palette and everything look beautiful here, the stunning scenery, that green of the trees and the foliage and the landscape here looks absolutely beautiful. The level of detail on the Union Army's costumes here as well, I really love that. The navy blue here really stands out. It does really look gorgeous here. And then when the battle commences, I couldn't take my eyes off it. This was the standout moment in the film for me. Um, it also has the older sound effects. I think it was the 2004 DVD release changed some of the gunshots, but this actually has all the original gunshot sounds in it, which was pretty awesome. They sound a lot more meaty and they have a lot more oomph to them, in my opinion, than the DVD release did. As I say about the battle scene here, I just couldn't take my eyes off it the whole time, with all the cannons and the explosions and everything like that. It was just an epic scene, and it did look absolutely stunning here. It was just really good to look at. A moment I was most looking forward to is actually the scene where Tuco and Blondie strap the dynamite to the bridge, and then the bridge blows up. Any explosion and fire looks amazing on 4K, so I was really looking forward to this explosion because it is amazing for a practical effect explosion here. And a little bit of trivia here. The originally blew up the bridge before the cameras were actually ready, so they actually had to rebuild the entire bridge. So, and then when the director was ready, they blew it up and he actually caught it on film, which is kind of amusing. It's also crazy to note here that Tuco and Blondie, so Clint Eastwood and Eli Wallach, when they're running away just before the bridge explodes and they go to take cover, uh, Clint Eastwood ducks behind the wall of sandbags, and then when the bridge does actually blow up, you've got debris flying everywhere, and you'll note on the right hand side a boulder lands so close to Clint Eastwood's head. That probably would have killed him here. Like that, that's just crazy. I'm assuming it was him and not a stunt double. I can't really tell, but if it was Clint Eastwood, that boulder would come so close to hitting him right in the head. That's just crazy. So that always makes me laugh that that was such a close call, that. But it is a really awesome scene to watch with the duel with Angel Eyes, Tuco, and Blondie. That was really epic, and the scenery again looks absolutely gorgeous. You can read pretty much every name on the graves in that graveyard. It's that highly detailed. You can almost see every rock and pebble on the ground. It just looks absolutely gorgeous here. Again, you can see the close-ups and the pock marks on the skin. I was just really having a great time with this 4K. It looked absolutely beautiful. An Arrow Video, again, you've done an absolutely amazing job, and it was overall an incredible experience. The Dollars trilogy as a whole has been great. In my opinion, Zombie Flesh Eaters, that was probably the best for me out of the Arrow Video releases that I've got recently on 4K. That Zombie Flesh Eaters was just incredible. But then I would say The Good, the Bad, the Ugly is probably second best here. Stands out among the other two. They are good, but this is definitely the best of the Dollars trilogy in terms of the audio and picture quality. It was an absolutely amazing treat to watch this film, and I had such a good time with it, and I will definitely return to it in the near future. As I say, guys, I do highly recommend the extended version. It just adds that little bit more to the film than the international version does. So definitely, it's worth seeing what kind of version of the film that you guys prefer and things like that. But yeah, this was an amazing 4K release. I had such a good time, and I highly recommend that you check it out if you haven't done so already. Please leave any comments down below, guys, about what you thought of this Star Wars trilogy, what you thought about this new 4K release of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and do you think it was an improvement from the Blu-ray? Of course, think so, because I was just not a fan of that yellow tint or yellow filter they put over on top of the Blu-ray, and that's all gone here, as I say, and this film looks absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I was really impressed with this release. Arrow Video, you've done another amazing job, and I cannot wait for your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle trilogy release. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. That was just my thoughts on the new Good, the Bad, the Ugly 4K from Arrow Video. It was absolutely amazing, and I had such a great time watching this movie. So I will see you soon in the next one. Take care.